What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet again another Houston Texans franchise video, and in this one we've got the draft. Yeah, so it's about time we get our hands onto this and our eyes looking forward to the future for the Houston Texans and seeing how they're gonna do, what guys we're gonna get out of this rookie class. So we did, I thought we had a pretty successful offseason. We signed Brandon Carr, we signed Patrick Chung, wide receiver Paul Richardson from Seattle. So we're really trying to hit home on secondary depth, wide receiver depth as well. I know that Dorial Green-Beckham had to step up late last season with Braxton Miller going down. And Jalen Strong, I've said it in a couple videos in the past, he's just really not cutting it. They're not cutting it. Neither is Braxton Miller. So wide receiver depth is a big thing for the Texans. You can't really just only rely on Fuller and Hopkins all day and twice on Sundays. Little joke there, but yeah. So you just can't do it. You can't do it. So we're going Paul Richardson route, get him in the slot. It'll help out Deshaun Watson and the rest of the offense. So looking at our picks, our options here. We did trade Brian Cushing to the Bills for that middle round pick, so we're at number 17 in the first round. There's a couple guys I'm interested in here. Bryant Mack out of USC, free safety. We could go with Philip Bishop, maybe if he's still there. But we do have Dwayne Brown at left tackle, so you know maybe we'll have to flip one guy to play right tackle, but don't really need a tackle too much. Right outside linebacker, Max Sanders might be a good one. Javonte Glover would be a nice pick at corner. He's like 6'4", I think he was. Nate Skikanik, I mentioned his name before. But you know, free safety, we kind of filled the hole there. We kind of plugged the leak, I guess you would say. So I like where we're at with defensive back. As far as safeties go, now corner is a different story. We might have to address corner in this draft, but right outside linebacker, a possibility. Jadeveon Clowney could fill in at right end because we do have a right end kind of a hole there. With I mean, Christian Covington can play some end, but not to the level at which we want him to. So right end is an issue. Maybe we can sit Clowney down in the right end and maybe get another right outside linebacker. That would help, but looks like some of the best guys are already off the board there. There's Bryant Mack from USC. There's Riley. Bernard Owens, we looked at him. I think he's actually the 6'4" corner, and he's going to Tampa Bay. So, yeah, corners, defensive backs, they're all going early, it seems like, in this draft. But we'll keep on simulating. We'll keep talking about some draft needs. But looks like, yeah, we've got a couple ways to go here. We're only at round 1, pick 11. So it looks like Toon is the pick for the Panthers, tight end to the Jaguars. Javonte Glover, he's gone to Seattle. And then Barker, and then Avery Green, the rugby player Avery Green, as you hear Adam Schefter talking about in the background. Yeah, so guys, we'll just have to look at the board here and see what we can get, because we got 2 more picks till our pick, and it looks like Scotty Jocko went 2 picks ahead of us, so that sucks because I like Scotty Jocko, so he'll probably be a pretty good pro out there in Miami. I think that pick right there was because Jarvis Landry. I don't think he left. I'd have to go back and look at the other episode, but I'm pretty sure he's a free agent, and I think he might have left. But I'm actually going to look to trade this pick, guys. So we're just kind of fielding offers right now. I want to see what the CPU's got. So I don't see a whole lot of 2018 going on. So, I mean, we're not going to just... The Saints offered a 4th round for the 2019, but their 1st round for 2018. The Raiders look like they have a pretty good offer. Two 2nd-round picks in 2018. The Falcons are only giving us a 2019. The Cowboys, 2018 2nd and 2019 1st and 3rd. So that actually is not that bad of an offer. That's actually the best offer of the bunch. I really like that trade, but given where we're at, I don't feel like we can wait another year. I mean, yeah, we got Deshaun Watson, and anything can happen. He's got a long career ahead of him. But, you know, we don't want to waste years, right? This isn't a rebuild. This isn't a restructure or anything like that. Like, we're looking to win. We went 11-5 last year. I didn't see anything really that blew me away other than that Cowboys trade, and even then it still wasn't enough for me. So this is what's on the board. Don't need a running back. Strong safety we might be able to take with Felix Spiller out of Auburn, 6'4" safety. Like it. Hit power is a B+, zone coverage B-. To have one of your top 3 skills at strong safety not be man coverage, you know, if his third skill was a C+, then that only means bad things for the man coverage there. So it might have been a D, maybe just a regular C. Max Sanders would be a nice pick here. He runs a 4.5 at outside linebacker. That's moving. That's pretty fast. He's a 3-4 pass rusher. He would fit perfectly for us. We could draft him, put Clowney at right end because he's normally an end. He was an end out in South Carolina. Gordon Breckner out of Florida State, 3-4 versatile. So he's the type of guy that can sit up and sit down. So block shedding's a B+, power move's a B+, tackle's a B. So it seems to me like this guy can play linebacker and end. In a 3-4 versatile, that's exactly what we run. So seems like he might be a good pick. We don't want to wait too long on that guy though, you know, because he is number 6 overall. We don't have a second-round pick, so whoever we pick here, we have to be really comfortable with. We have to really, really like that guy. Nate Skikanik. I'm not sold on Nate. 5'11" out of Alabama, playmaker. You know, his hit power is really nice, but the pursuit is kind of an issue for me at free safety. We want guys that can stop the run, and if that game against Oakland was any indication that our backfield, our defensive backs could not stop the run, it was that game for sure. So just taking a look at the other picks on offense here. Josh English, the left tackle. Like I said, we just don't need a left tackle, but you know, you always want to entertain the ideas. He is the fastest left tackle in the draft at 311 pounds and 6'5", so the guy can move. But the run block, you can move, but if you can't run block, then really what's the point? Sanchez Harrell out of Ohio State. I was interested in him. He's got a B- run block and A- impact. So the guy's kind of a bulldozer, really, out of Ohio State. So he might be a good pick. There's Carter Weaver, and we got some first-round centers there. Antonio Labinjo, the right tackle. He's being projected as a mid-second rounder, but you know, we're mid-first round, so I'm not really in the market to be reaching, not even for a right tackle. So really no left ends. There's a right end. There's Gordon Breckner. Go back to defensive tackles, and we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Take Gordon Breckner. I like the pick. You guys can see the stats there. 92 strength coming in at 22 years old. 83 tackle. Speed is a 78, so he's pretty fast. Acceleration's an 80. Shedding and power moves. The guy is going to be a player. Now, the only drawback is that his true value was at 35. We took him at 17. I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, he's a 78 overall. He's going to step right in immediately and be the starter over Christian Covington. So that's a bonus as well. We can start rotating Clowney, Breckner, McKinney, Merciless, all these guys, all these linebackers, we can start rotating in and out. So I like the pick. Even though he's got slow development, I do like the pick. But as you guys can see, our third-round draft pick, we ended up not liking what I saw. So I didn't like what I saw on the draft board. There really wasn't anything there to have. So I traded the pick to the Bears to get a 7th rounder and a 3rd rounder. And then with their 3rd round at number 96, I went ahead and I flipped that to the Saints for their second round pick of next year. So basically what I just did was I turned our third round into a 7th round for next year and a 2nd round for next year. So I kind of like that idea. I mean, there was just nothing there, and you know, why waste a pick? Because if we can get a 2nd round next season, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's a really high pick, and I just like the projection going into next year with players that are actually maybe a little bit better than what we've got in this draft class. This draft class is not very good. A lot of guys you can see even on this list, even in the 5th round, guys going undrafted that were projected in the 5th and the 6th. So it's really all over the board. So it just really was not a good draft. So I decided that, you know, why take a player you're not going to really enjoy having or not going to really utilize? So might as well just prepare for the future. Take your shot somewhere else. But with our 5th round guys, I'm going to address corner. And we're going to take this guy, Seifa Lytle, out of Alabama. That's a good pick. They rank him at 147, or drafted him at 155. His zone coverage is a B, a solid B. His press and his man coverage are pretty bad. But, you know, in the 5th round, you get what you pay for, you know. And a guy that's like a specialist like that, who can really just cover zones, I like that kind of guy. I like him. He came out of a big school too, Alabama. Might as well take it and run with it. This guy here, Devin Morris, we're in the 7th round. He's projected as a mid-5th in true talent. And then, you know, his draft position was supposed to go undrafted, but he's a speedster. He's got 93 speed, so he's pretty quick. Acceleration's at 90, so I like Devin Morris. He can be a punt returner, so we can kind of fade DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller out of that position, because I don't want those guys taking hits. I want Devin Morris taking those hits. So nice little depth guy right there. And as you guys can see, now's about the time just to show you guys their overall. And you saw Breckner's overall is a 78. Lytle was a 70. Morris was a 63. And now we're just kind of showing you guys the rest of the draft and just show you who went where, and kind of the guys I was interested in, like Niswanger. I remember mentioning him before. He's a 74 overall. 3rd rounder. Probably could have taken him, but you know, I feel like we're okay on the offensive line. I didn't feel like it warranted a pick. Now, you got to remember, when I traded that 3rd round pick, I got a 7th, and then I traded the 3rd round again to the Saints, and now we got a 2nd round for 2019. So I feel like trading a left guard like Niswanger for a 2nd round draft pick for next year was a good trade. So Bengals look like they had a pretty okay draft. The Bills, House, that wide receiver, I think that was the red zone threat. He's like 6'5", 6'5" red zone threat. So he's not too bad. The Broncos, they didn't have too bad of a draft either. Not a lot of picks though. I think we probably had the lowest amount of draft picks in the entire draft with 3. There's Brian Mack, 78 overall. We really wanted that guy. Labinjo, 74. Ace Stevenson, 62. He had a 91 speed. I remember he was the speed back of the draft. But I thought just for the 3 picks, I mean, I thought we did okay. We really just got some guys that are specialists. Like they don't do everything really well. They do one thing really well, and that's, I'm talking about Morris and Lytle. But I think Breckner is going to step in and help us out big time. But Josh Inglis, only a 71 overall at left tackle, so that's, you know, that was kind of a bust there at the 1st round pick. Abushi, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. I should correct myself, because the last video I called them the San Diego Chargers. That's dating myself and giving away my age. But pretty good draft there by the Colts. They got Jacorius Melton, the running back, and then Council, the left outside linebacker. 80s overall, 82 and 82. Nice, nice. Really nice draft. And then they got in the 7th round, Rayshawn McDonald is 79 overall. Wow, that's the steal of the draft right there, guys. Felix Spiller, 76. Dunlap, 66. Maxwell, 70. So the Cowboys didn't have too good of a draft, I wouldn't say. The Dolphins with Scotty Jockel at 76. Man, he runs a 90 speed too. Scotty Jockel. Wish that he did not go 2 picks ahead of us, because I feel like had we not signed Paul Richardson, we probably would have tried to grab Scotty Jockel. The Eagles, okay. Tavares Tart at 67. Matt Colston. There's Nate Skakanik. The Falcons, an 80 overall. Nate Skakanik. Holy crap. Wow. I totally misread Skakanik. He would have stepped, guys, he would have stepped right in and been our starting free safety. No joke. He would have taken the job over Andre Hall. Wow. That's kind of a... Wow. I regret that. I regret that big time. If I had to go back, I would do it. The 49ers, let's see, Antoine Fisher. Everybody was dogging Antoine Fisher. They projected him to go lower, and he's an 80. So maybe it's part of his speed of XP, I guess, might be really low. But looks like Philip Bishop, 75 overall, wasn't too great himself. Brady Gaff as well. So I don't know, guys. I kind of like where we were and how we did. The Jaguars didn't do so hot. Jerron McAfee was an 80, so he's the first overall pick. Michael Pitcock, I remember scouting him. Kendall Joseph. So the Jets, they got all of our guys that we were scouting. Dang Jets. But yeah, so I kind of like where we're at in comparison to these other teams here. The Lions had a pretty good draft with Spain, and then Campbell, so they had a pretty good one, 73 and 80. Let's see. Yeah, the Packers. Madden in the 4th round with the 77, so they didn't do too bad. Toon with an 80. Man, had some good linebackers in this draft. Too bad our linebackers are just as good, if not better. Fielder, the center for the Patriots. Patriots didn't have too good of a draft, guys, but they'll probably figure out a way to make it work. Long Mays goes to the Raiders, so they think that Marshawn Lynch is going to get old and decrepit, and he's going to retire on him pretty soon. Again, 83 overall for him. Another 83, well, an 83 fullback for the Raiders. Here's the Rams. They got a 79 overall quarterback in the 1st round. I mean, what the heck? They don't believe in Jared Goff, at least in this franchise. Man, Jared Goff's a beast right now with Sean McVay. There's Avery Green with the Ravens, 79 overall. Not too bad, not too bad. Ravens had a pretty good draft. Pojad and Eric Jaquette. Zach Singleton. So the Redskins didn't, they didn't too bad. Saints, I want to see what they did. Sanchez Harrell, 76 overall. We were interested in that guy. So they took Russell Stewart, the defensive tackle, and he's a 64. He ended up being one of their worst draft picks. So see, guys, there wasn't anything there. There wasn't anything there. We would have fell for something and been stuck with something like that. Javonte Glover's an 80. I knew he was going to be a good player. Steelers, Byron Oliver, an 81. We had the chance to take Byron Oliver. Dang. Kind of missed opportunities here in this draft. But like I said, guys, 81 to 78 with Gordon Breckner, that's, we filled a need. And I think Breckner is gonna play well for us. So I think we made some good calls. So you guys can just check out some of their stats. I know I kind of briefly went over these guys. So I mean, we signed 3 big free agents, and then we signed these 3 rookies here. So I'm not too concerned about where we're at or where we're going with these guys. I do think that Lytle and Morris are specialist players, and I think that they'll definitely help us out this season, especially when it comes to knocking down some of the returns that Hopkins and Fuller had to take. Like, I just don't want those guys. I know they're dynamic and everything. I just don't want those guys taking hits. You know, I just don't want that to happen. So, guys, we'll go ahead and stop the episode here, and then we'll go from there. So get ready for preseason for 2018. Hope you guys liked this episode, and leave a like if you did. And yeah, if you like it, love it, you want more of it, you know what you got to do. Hit that little red subscribe button or my logo. And I'll see you guys in the next Houston Texans franchise video, and we will have the preseason. So we'll get ready for the 2018 season, and I will show you guys what the roster is shaping out to look like and how players progressed. So that is it. And like I said, I'll see you guys next time. And as always, peace.